This shit is called Little Ghetto Nigga. Snap the J. Cole on the beat. My nigga does it all. Rap, dudes. Y'all niggas better catch up.
Yeah,
It's the come up.
let's bring it in.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's for my niggas in the struggle. Yeah, it's for my niggas in the struggle. Yeah, another perspective. Just another perspective. Yeah.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, Broke Boy? What's good, Magic? What's good, Amio? What's good? We early with it today. I've been trying to tell y'all, I'm actually going to be on time and early when it come down to these streams. And by the way, is my microphone good? Is my microphone good? Is the mic good? I turned up my filters. That shit says it's loud as shit. Alright, bet that. Literally, those like 4 people all in the same stream was like, yo, your mic low. I fixed it, bro. I just added some filters, bro. Let me pull them clips up right quick. But what's good, Joel? Also, let me get my IG story post ready too. Let me get my IG story post ready so I don't gotta do it later. Let me grab that. Hey, if y'all got any questions, let me know right now before the breakdown gets started. If y'all got any questions, any personal questions, any hooping questions, you know what I'm saying? Drop them in the chat, man, answer as soon as I get this. Yo, what's good, blood? Can't wait for Bronny Part 3. You know what the thing is, too? Hold on, let me pause the music right quick. Let me get that. Let me take that off. Let me pause that. Bronny Part 3. There's only one more Summer League game. So this probably be the end of the little Summer League series. I believe it's only one more. And they're like 2-2. So there ain't going to be no semifinals or finals for the Lakers. So we going to have to wait till the regular season. So if Bronny checks in for one of those games for about a cool 6 minutes, you know we about to peep those 6 minutes. If he gets in at the end of a blowout, you know we about to peep the end of that blowout. You know what I'm saying? We most definitely gonna peep it. We probably just won't be that 5 or 6 minutes itself. I'll probably watch something else with it. But unless he comes into the season, he's already in the rotation. That's a completely different story. If that shit happened, I'll be absolutely astonished. And whatever he did in training camp must have been remarkable. But if I had to put my money on it, of course I'm not gonna put my money on that. He's probably gonna play around 20. I'll give him 22 games. I'll give him 22 games out of 82. I give him 22 games. One every 4 games, he hopping in there at some point in time to do something. So, some shit just fall. I don't give a fuck about those papers anyways. Yo, what's good, AD? What's good, Jordan? What's good, Hanel? When I ball after an offensive rebound, I usually drop my shoulder into a defender and put it back up. It's just offensive foul. They don't call a foul, it's not a foul. And if you don't do it excessively, most importantly, it's not a foul. So if you're actually like, if you think it's football in this motherfucker, and you just, you know what I'm saying, throw your whole weight into him, you're gonna probably get called for a foul a good amount of times, right? Depending on who you're going against, because some players would want to embrace that, and so I'll just say refrain from it. Just learn how to distribute your weight in a controlled manner to where it's not like you're just lunging your entire body out to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Bro, people care more about Bronny than the first and second overall picks. That is a fact. And they put more pressure on him than the first and second pick on the fact that he's LeBron's son, despite the fact he's a 55th pick. Now, I could understand, all right, you're LeBron's son. You got to at least be somewhere around him, but he's not LeBron, 1. And 2, he was a 55th pick, which shows you everything it needs to show you. So that should trump whatever it is, whatever stigma you want to put in comparison to him and his dad. That should already trump all that. He's the 55th pick for a reason. So, not to say he's like, oh, he's sorry, but he's just not the same person. He's just not the same person, bro. As much as we would want to, like, love to see Bronny come in or something like that, and then him take the mantle from Bron, as much as you'd love to see it, it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. I used to play pickup games. I'm new to 5-on-5 full court games, so what advice can you give me to adopt easily in 5-on-5? Honestly, You can't duck experience. You can't duck experience. You can never duck experience. You cannot duck the process. So you're just going to have to literally just throw yourself into the fire, and you're going to begin to see things not in the moment, but only if you go back and you reflect after you play. That's the only time you'll be able to uncover the things as to which you're missing while you did play, right? And you begin to think about the things you did wrong and see what you could have done right, and little things like that, right? It requires that reflection. So you got to kind of just throw yourself into that fire. And then once you throw yourself into the fire, it'll unveil all the things you need to know, from your strengths to your weaknesses, for you to be able to grow into a better player. What's good, Whoops Loops? What's good? Chandler Clark was the first WNBA player to get 19 assists in the game. You should definitely look at the game at some point. I low-key been slacking on my free time to watch WNBA games because I've been planning out something I got in store for my content as of late. So the time I usually spend to go sit down and study that, I'm spending now planning what I got planned, which is like do workouts and shit and create a new style of content. So y'all gonna see that very soon. But going back to what you're saying with Caitlin Clark, I could definitely repeat that. I could definitely keep that in mind. You read the Inner Game of Tennis too? Yeah, I already read it. I may end up at some point in time rereading it. So reading it for a second time because it's just a good book. If I feel as though I need those little keys as to which I did not fully incorporate into my own game, into my own mindset, when I do begin to play more competitively, I'll definitely reread that book, or like at least go through chapters, because the book is always there. A lot of people think I read a book once, I'm done, I'm good. That's goofy, because when you go back into reading a book or seeing something with a new perspective, just from life happening, or you learning something, you'll uncover something you didn't uncover before. So I'll most definitely go back and read through that at some point in time, at some point in my life. Is it better to have 7 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks with 0 points and 3 rebounds, or is it better to have 14 points, 1 steal, 0 blocks, 0 assists, and 4 rebounds? Which one? I mean, it depends on the ultimate contribution. 1 and 2 depends how you're getting what you get. Like a 14 points out of, like, it also, like I said, it depends how you get it. So 14 points by you just forcing up a bunch of buckets is not a good 14, right? Whereas a 14 points where you're playing within the flow of the offense, you're getting your backdoor cuts, you're running your lane transition, you're finding your spots within plays, like you're actually taking the right looks. It all depends on that, right? All depends on that. And the same thing on the other side. You could have a good 4 steals or you could have a bad 4 steals. Meaning I got 4 steals while I was standing in the right spots, up the line, chest to man, and I was getting deflections, and we came up with loose balls and digging in lanes, getting back, showing hands. Or I got 4 steals because I decided to jump every single passing lane and to put our defense in a vulnerable position because we're now in rotation. And I ended up getting 4 steals while I gambled and missed about 15 of them. It depends on how you get it all. So it really depends. How I get more confident dribbling up the court during games. That, at least for me, starts with learning how to dribble subconsciously, subconscious dribbling. And that's your ability to dribble and not think about yourself actually dribbling. Because there's so much shit going on in the game that if you keep thinking about yourself dribbling, then you're not going to be able to do what you need to do, which is run the play or make the read on whatever action you're running. So the second that you begin to hyper-focus on one thing in the course of a 5-on-5 game, you lose. Doesn't matter what you hyper-focus on, you lose. Because there's too many things you got to take account for. So you got to get better at dribbling without needing to think about dribbling the entire time. And the way most people get that is from when they're kids. They just always dribbled everywhere they went. They didn't do drills. They didn't premeditate the moves that they did. Sean D, appreciate that sub. They didn't premeditate their moves. They literally just walked around the crib, dribbled. Went to school. They just dribbled to school. In the crib, just chilling, sitting down in the chair, dribbling underneath their legs, worried about other stuff. Like, they're not even thinking about it. So a lot of people adopt it from an early age. And so what ends up happening is that the players who don't partake in those habits, don't do those things when they are younger and they get older and they try to do the drills and then translate it to the game, it's going to be hard to do that because all they know when they dribble is to think about the dribble and the next move they're going to do. So that's what most people run into, right? They only know how to do a move and think about the next move they're going to do instead of allowing their body and allowing their subconscious self to be able to make that next move according to what they see. They don't know how to really read and react. All they know how to do is think and then do. So that's where a lot of people get caught up. How do I both pass defenders more easily and create attack angles? That's too broad of a question, and you can't just do that overnight. You can't really, honestly, you can't do that overnight. It's literally like you can't just go to sleep one day and wake up the next day and be like, oh, I could blow by people. There's a couple things you could possibly do that may enhance your chances just slightly, but usually, at least the people as to which have asked me that question oftentimes, like, yo, how do I just blow by somebody? Basketball, you're not just going to blow past players, first and foremost. A lot of the times there's going to be contact, and it's not like you're going to leave somebody in the dust, right? Like you get a flash and then you're going against a regular human being, right? It's not going to be like that. What it's usually going to be is that, okay, I got a step or two on him. He's trying to recover. He's on my hip. I got to take on the contact, and then you got to hold your angle and get to the rim, and then also make sure what's in front of you is going on, like be able to take account for that stuff. But you will never just get blow by people, leave them in the dust. So finishing through contact. Do you train core? I'll say that's one thing players don't train that could help. Like actually train your core for functional strength, rotational strength. Do you train your core for that? And you said getting through contact by myself. Oh yeah, by yourself. Are players going light on Bronny now? The goalpost keeps moving, huh? The goalpost keeps moving, huh? Y'all literally gonna see Bronny play 2 games. They're gonna say, them dudes are going light on Bronny. Ain't nobody going light on Bronny, bro. They're hooping. What type of player do you think someone is gonna? What type of human being do you think is gonna go into a game and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm playing Bronny. I'm scared. I'm hot." What type of person you think is gonna do that at that level? There's just no way. It's not like he's out there talking trash and he has some sort of level of intimidation. If anything, those dudes are out there trying to kill Bronny because he has a spotlight. And if they could get noticed at that same time, they're going to go and do what they do. Right? And so, honestly, that's why you just can never try to please people. You can never worry about what they say. You can never care about what they say. And you just got to focus on what you could do. Control your own actions, because the goalpost will forever keep getting moved. Even if I sit here, right? Even if myself, if someone said, "Oh, how can I listen to you? You never went to the NBA." I could go to the NBA, come back and do exactly what I do right now, and then people are gonna say, huh, "You never won a ring," and you know what's gonna happen after that? If I went to the NBA and I got a ring, I'll come back here and then say, "Oh, you didn't get 2 rings. You're not Jordan." It always gets moved. It's never you will never win. You'll never win, right? I even just look at Bron, bro. You look at what Bron does, regardless of all that he's done, if you hate him or not, love him or hate him, the goalpost forever keeps getting moved. So it doesn't matter what you do, you just got to do what you do. People are always gonna try to find a way to get one step ahead of you and just try to knock you down, even when you're trying to get your way up. But you just got to stand true and stand on business. So that shit wild though. That shit wild. Past 2 games, 10 for 12. 10 for 21, 3 for 8, 47, about 48% from the field, 100% free throws, 6-3, steal block, 25 points. Solid points, solid minutes, man. Solid minutes. Summer guy hitting hard, 4 to 5 kilograms of muscle in at least the past 2 to 5 weeks. First and foremost, I don't know if it's just pure muscle, right? He probably got some fat in there, because that happens with all bulks. You can't say it's pure muscle. Muscle comes with some fat. Right, and if you put on 4 to 5 in 2.5 weeks, and you say it's pure muscle, that's impossible. Because if you want to put on pure muscle of 4 to 5, it's gonna take time. Kilos, by the way. So for us, that's around like 9 to 12 pounds, right? 9 to 12 pounds. So you can't put on that much muscle that fast and have it be pure muscle. You're gonna have to lean it out. So make sure you still lean it out. Don't be like, oh, it's just all muscle. You got some fat in there, gang. You got some fat. Truth be told. You said his form broke, you just need to fix it. You talking about Bronny? Summer grind about to start. No more school to distract me. Wait, are y'all overseas? Hey, Dave, are you overseas? And then Love and Hoops, I think you're overseas as well. Because there's no way. Because I'm pretty sure over here, like, the summer been started. Summer been started over here. What should I do for ball handling? I've been doing manipulation drills, but I need more work on these. And good drills where you run fast and moving weird ways to handle the ball. How do I work on my left hand? Bro, my favorite ball handling drill is just freestyle dribbling, bro. I like go to a park and dribble for like a mile and a half, 2 miles. That's my favorite drill. That's my, like, I kid you not, have your headphones in, about a mile and a half. Go dribble. Go dribble. Change your level, change your pace, change how strong your dribble is. All those little things, right? Change all those little things. Like, just move, go with the flow of the music and just listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Dribble to the same rhythms, your steps, the timing of the steps with your dribble, how like the angles you're shifting to. Like, just get creative and flow. That's the best thing to me. Because you work on all those little things, and mentally, you change everything you can do physically. Because everything that you do starts here. If you don't change what's going on up here, it's gonna be hard to change what's going on out here. So, to me, that's my favorite shit to do. I could do that for hours, bro. I don't know about hours. That shit would be OD. I'm wasting my time at that point. But honestly, I went to, when I had taken a trip to Kentucky like a month or two ago, I had literally grabbed a ball, bought a ball from Walmart, about $20, and I just dribbled for like an hour one of those days for my workout. Like, it really be like that, and I wish I should do it more as well. But that's not my focus of the season right now. It's not my focus. I'm fixing my jump shot. And my jump shot begins smooth, man. My jump shot begins smooth. This shit begins smooth. Y'all gonna see the progress in a second. You post a video you hooping yet? Now the high school ones? I'm gonna start showing hooping stuff a little bit, like in my workouts and my drills and shit like that. So you'll see that at least. But like playing pickup and stuff, I may make a separate channel and a separate Instagram for my IRL content. So that's not gonna happen for a little while though. It's not gonna happen for a little bit, but just told y'all whoever's here right now so you can stay alerted, be ready for it. If I'm doing plyometric 2 skill sessions, then what can I do on the last one? So that's the third one. Plyometrics, 2 skills, and then on the third one. So plyometric. Wait, what do you mean? What you mean in that routine? Hey, regardless level hoops, that's a lot of weight in a short amount of time. You got some fat. You're gonna need a cut. I'm in the UK. Summer just started. Okay. Better make sure you lock in though. Because there's people in the States who got a month left and they're like, oh shoot, I was slacking all summer. I gotta go work out. And they gotta get up off their couch, lick the Cheeto dust off their fingers, lick the Dorito dust off their fingers, throw away their Debbie cakes, their Swiss rolls and shit, Twinkies. They gotta throw all that stuff out, clean up their room. Like, yo, I gotta lock in. Lock in for about 2 to 3 days, and they go right back to the Cheetos, right back to the Doritos, Debbie snacks, Swiss rolls, all that stuff, the Twinkies, and they get right back lazy because they're like, it's not working. It should be crazy. It's hilarious. Where is I at? You in Germany? Oh, we got people in London over here. Yeah, I had quite a few people in London, especially when I started streaming. At least when I started streaming. I don't know how many people still here from London, but. And is it better than playing consciously? You can't play basketball consciously because there's too much shit going on and it's too fast. You just can't. And so that boils down to what I did. I'll tell you where I started. I just started by meditating. And in my meditation, I'll just train myself to mentally be able to shut off my thoughts and essentially keep my mind focused on just one thing, whether it literally be a black space or it would be a feeling, like something, not an actual feeling like a anger or an emotion necessarily, but it's more of a spiritual connection that I'll stay attached to and I'll link myself to. That'll keep me in a very open, very thoughtless area. It's hard to describe because it's intangible and it's not like I can't really put words to it, but I keep myself in a place where I'm not even thinking. I'm just kind of, it's almost like I'm in a void, but it's a positive void, right? So it's hard to explain, but that's where I started. Learning how to at least focus on my breath and focus on my energy, my chi. So that's where I started, and I just progressed through the years. And then when I go to hoop, it's easier for me to let go and for myself to just do what I've trained myself to do. Why you stop streaming on Twitch? YouTube, it was just everything all in one platform. Everything all in one platform. So I could get you'll see my streams and my videos right there, right next to each other. And it'll also grow my YouTube at the same time. So some are basically done now. Yeah, at least in the States, it's basically done. You got cool like 3 weeks People got 3 weeks before they about to go back. It's crazy. Did you say when you hit 15K you'll drop IRL hooping? I did. And you missed that a while ago. We have 40 now. I told y'all I had 100K. I'll give away a pair of Kobe's. Yo, what's good, Zanil? Or Zanel? What's good? My sessions look like depending if I apply metrics or upper body that day. Hold on. Plyos, skills. I mean, do you need a fourth session becomes the question. Do you need a fourth session? And do you need the plyos or do you actually need the strength training? Because I don't even do plyos every single day. If anything, like at this point, since I'm focused on basketball skill, meaning my shooting, I'm correcting my jump shot, I do plyos maybe once or twice a week. You don't need to do plyos every day. You don't. And you should mix that session that you do plyos every day with actual strength training. So could be legs, could be upper body, could be vertical jump strength training session, something prioritized to that, or something for jump shooting in terms of flow and fluidity and body movement. It all really depends. So you shouldn't be doing plyos every day, then having like doing all that. If anything, 2 skills, a plyo, then a lift. Either one of the two. One of the two. Is skills because I don't know what to put here. Upper. You don't gotta, honestly, 3 a day. It's solid. If you get 2 really good skill sessions in, like that alone, like you don't need to do a fourth. Honestly, you don't really need to do a fourth. If you could, I mean, if anything, maybe something light for basketball, but depends on your access and your resources and little things like that. Training camp in 3 weeks. Can't wait hooping fives again, bro. I was sitting down yesterday, and I was just like, bro, if I could just hoop all the time. That shit. I was like, if I could just hoop all the time, but in a way as to which like I still could control like what I do on a day-to-day basis, and so that's what even enticed me even more to do the workout stuff that I'm gonna show y'all. I'm literally just gonna take y'all on a journey through my workouts each and every single day. Well, not every day, probably like 3 days a week, because to do recording every week, one, it gets aggravating. 2, it would make me so inefficient with my time. It's just like I got to set up all this little stuff. It make it tough, but you'll probably get a good 2 to 3 workouts throughout my week. School community will get the full workout. Instagram will get a little smaller workout. Discord will get another piece of that. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Give me like cool 2-3 weeks. Y'all gonna see that shit up there. Do you do anything for mobility? I would have mobility days and mobility workouts. I could drop some mobility stuff. I should drop some mobility stuff in the Discord. I'll probably drop that next, as a matter of fact. I don't think I've posted anything about mobility, so make sure you join the Discord and I'll post a couple mobility stuff. And I already got some recordings of mobility stuff on my phone, so I could literally just boom, put that clip, send it to Discord. So I'll probably do that today. It's one of my things to do on my to-do list. If grade 10 is freshman year in Canada, then grade 11 a good year to make varsity. Yeah, that'd still be early. Usually here, like people get to varsity junior year. I got to varsity junior year. That's usually average. So, but if you get there before, I mean, that's good. That's still great. Get faster with the ball because I'm fast without the ball. You just gotta start dribbling with the ball. You gotta start dribbling with the ball more. So it's a completely different movement pattern, completely different rhythm. So you about to start this breakdown in a second. Should I try to add a mid-range to my game? I'm underside guard, by the way. If you haven't seen opportunities for you to add a mid-range shot into your game, there's no need for you to even think about adding it to your game. All the thoughts in terms of what you need to do to get better should be based upon what you've seen and the gaps you have based on the way you play. Not because, oh, this looks nice, this player is able to do that. Oh, I want to add this skill. Should not be because of that, right? It should all be rooted from everything you've already done. And when you reflect, you're like, oh, I missed this gap. Or, oh, I usually get here and I usually see this type of defender. I could be able to get this off. It all should be based upon that, not based upon your wants. Every decision, everything you add to your game should be based upon logic and not based upon emotion. So that's the most important part when it comes down to it all. How do you know if you're good enough for varsity? You about to be a sophomore? You go play against the people on varsity and see how you fare up. Better be ready and locked the fuck in, though. Better be ready and locked the fuck in, because if you're playing against them and they don't see you as comp, You know what's gonna happen? Oh, attack him. They know they need to get bucket. Attack him. They know you sorry. Oh, attack him. Oh, don't give him like you gonna get looked off all the damn time. Like, better you ready to prove yourself. If you don't feel you're good enough, and you asking me when do I know if I'm good enough shows me that you probably lack some confidence in yourself already. But if you don't even feel that within yourself, it's gonna be hard for anybody else to believe, because if it doesn't, the belief don't start here, it's not gonna start anywhere. It's not gonna start anywhere, because if you don't have that full belief, what's gonna make you think your coach is gonna believe you when you don't even fully believe in yourself? Ain't nobody gonna trust you. Nobody gonna trust the game. Nobody gonna trust you with the ball. Trust you with the action. Trust you under pressure. 2 on you. 2 defenders. Full court pressure. Bring the ball up. Baseline to baseline. Baseline half court, let me say. Right? You gotta trust yourself. You gotta have confidence in yourself. And the way you get confidence in yourself is by hooping. You gotta get confidence from actual experience. Seeing yourself actually do something. Not just once, not twice, not 3 times, but over and over. And it's like, oh, I could do this. I've done this before a number of times. I could do this again right now. Got to tap in mentally, though. So make sure you're getting those reps in. Do you think 3 days of a good skills workout, and on other days, what can I do? You should do skills workouts every day. I don't know what it is that people think I should do skills workouts 4 times a week, but you're going to fall so far behind, because especially if you're not just naturally gifted, right? Even if you're naturally gifted, you're doing 3 skills workouts a week, right? So say, for example, Tyron Stokes, that's his name, Stokes. If he did 3 skill workouts a week, 3 to 4, he'll still be way better than his high school comp. He'll still be cooking them and destroying them, but it would end up catching up to him probably when he gets to college. When he gets to that next level, probably catch up. Because now you're going against people who athletically may not be as gifted, but they're just around that range. Just enough to be able to tap into their actual skill set that they built to neutralize you and then be able to get the upper hand on you, right? So if you're just a person who may not be naturally gifted, you don't have the athleticism, the height, all these little things that you don't really have to work for, you kind of may just naturally have. You don't got that already. Even if you do have it, if you work out 3-4 times a week, you're going to get left so far behind the dust. Left so far behind. So if you're out here working 3-4 times a week, it makes absolute sense. Why when I was in high school, I was doing 2 skill workouts a week, and then a day, not a week, that's insane. I was doing 2 skill workouts a day, and then I was doing a lift. It makes absolute sense why someone like me, who has no genetic superiority naturally, in comparison to my competition, was able to just get better than everybody that was already around me. And even still to this day, where my bounce that I have, the like 40-inch vert that I got, I worked for it. The speed I got, I worked for it. Shot, worked for it. Handle, worked for it. Just all makes sense. You got to work for a lot of shit that you get. And if you want to be able to not just keep up but surpass, you got to outwork. So, and then you work smart after you know how to work hard. So let me throw that in. Touch rim but still can't dunk. What can help you with that? 5'11", 155. May not jump enough. Oh, I forgot to even turn off my phone. I'm bugging. You said your coach, you said you're Trey Young, I don't play defense. Can you help with some tips? Start giving some effort. Start giving some effort. Like, actually go and play defense and take the challenge of stopping somebody from scoring. Like, begin with effort. Once you begin with effort, then you can see where on defense you're actually not good in. So, just get down, move your feet. Get down and move your feet, bro. But let me post this right quick on the gram and we're going to start the breakdown. Boom, boom. Got that. Remember, I already recorded the video before this started. Got here, got here, got here, here, here. Let me pull that up. Let me get that there. Then we're gonna go there. Then we're gonna go there. Boom. Boom. And boom. How do I guard faster players? I have a clip on my Instagram of Naz Reid going against Jamal Murray. And I'm literally on my Instagram right now. It is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. It's the 5th row down. It's the 5th row down underneath my pinned post. You'll see a clip that literally says that as the title. So go ahead and watch that. Go ahead and watch that. It explains everything you should practically need to know. Make a lot of sense. Then read the caption, of course. It's like Bronny plays better when people expect less from him. The same thing has been expected. The same things are there. But this is once again another notion of people. Oh, that's not too much of people moving the goalpost. But I just think he's just been playing more. That's all it is. That's all it is. Expectations are still there. If he was playing bad, people will still be shitting on him. But he's actually playing good. So there's not much people saying anything about it because they can't say anything about it. So it makes it seem like there's less expectations. But in reality, there's no difference. No different. They're only waiting for him to fail. They're only waiting for Bronny to mess up and do something bad and get a donut on the board and turn the ball over 3 times and miss 8 shots and make none. Like that's all they're waiting for. Then they start talking. Then they start chirping. But the second he does something good, the second that he executes, the second that he's on his P's and Q's, nobody says a word. And then it's like, oh, what happened? What happened? People have to go resume to their normal lives where they live miserably and they throw all the hate that they have on themselves on the Bronny. So it is what it is. It's kind of crazy. And it's hilarious to me how so many people care so much about just this one dude playing basketball. This one dude playing basketball, bro. Just a kid playing basketball. 19-year-old jit playing basketball, man. Crazy. It's crazy. Bronny Alex R. Yo, been getting no coverage. Alex R and them getting no coverage. Summer League is not only rookies. It's just players who are not in the league. Let me just say that. There may be an age cap on it, but they're really looking for younger players and players who are just not in the NBA actively and kind of want an opportunity, or maybe playing pro overseas or some shit, find a roster. But it's not all rookies. It's not all rookie. I mean, he's Bron's son. I mean, he is Bron's son, but he's Bron's son. You know that's crazy? That's the funny thing about Bronny, right? The funny thing about Bronny is everyone already knows he's Bron's son. He's not Bron. He's Bron's son. They're 2 different people, right? They're 2 completely different people. So to hold him to the standard of somebody that he is simply just not is completely goofy, which is why he's got a game like this and he was able to shut up a lot of people, right? From the first play of the game, right? Out the gate. From the second this ball gets thrown into the air, I want y'all to understand. Bronny already knows the play they're about to run. He knows the play is for him. But the most important thing when it comes to plays that you know you're already about to get is how you approach it mentally. Understanding that I'm supposed to get a look, I'm supposed to get a shot off, really. But am I going to think about what I want to do, or am I going to play at a pace so that I can be able just to see what's available? And that's what Bronny's going to do in this situation, right? Got this catch from here, throws it to 14, little chase action. He got a drop big as a screener. Gets to his left side. I got a little bit of room. Get to my pull-up at the elbow. And that's just everything I've been doing in the offseason. That's the drills, the live drills, the visualization, right? It's having coaches, seeing 2 on me, seeing 1 person drop back, learning the type of space I need to get my shot off. That's where the offseason work comes in. And that's what you're going to see Bronny just doing a lot of on the side when he's not playing. So as he continues to get these reps in and continues to put the work in, he's going to see more games, not just like this in the summer league, because they only got 1, but in the actual league in itself, because of the environment that he got. But let's talk about the other side of the ball when this game started too, right? It's nice to start a game with a bucket and to see it go through the rim. But it's also tough as well, but it's going to help you in the long run. Defensively, when you start with a play like this, Bronny's on his weak side, guarding 31, up the line. He can't see who he's guarding right now, right? He can't see who he's guarding. He's really ball watching. And so he gets caught lacking, caught slipping on this elevator, going to this side. And so when you mix in him already getting that bucket to start and him saying, all right, I seen the ball go through the rim. Then defensively, he makes a slip up and then he allows his man to score because he was ball watching. this does go a long way because on one side of the ball, he says, all right, I'm here. But defensively, he's like, all right, I got to tighten up. And so that's just that balance that you just see within the game, right? You can't get too high off something, nor can you get too low on something. You're going to have to remain neutral so you can be able to play at your best level. And now that's a little defensive trick, right? A little defensive thing as to which will allow you to get more steals. Great way to start it. Indeed, I was like, fuck, I just may as well start it right now. But this is something when getting to passing lane is going to help you a lot. So anytime you could anticipate a pass getting thrown, particularly on these back doors, right? You want to be able to catch the ball, not when it's on the way to the person that you're guarding, but where it's going to end up going. And so understand, by already being behind the play, you're going to be behind the pass on its way there. But if you already know the ball is going to end up going to around this hip, knee area to the hands of the person that you're guarding, why not, instead of putting your hand in the lane, put your hand where the ball is going to end up being? Because that also buys you more time to be able to get your hand where you need to, right? Because the ball has to go from that bounce, then up to the hand. So instead of thinking, all right, let me try to find the ball on its way there, I'm going to turn and literally put my hand exactly where the hand of the person I'm guarding is so that they can't be able to catch that. And so that's a little thing as to which you could just take to your notes, you know what I'm saying, that can help you become a better defender in those passing lanes. Yo, what's good, Prince? Bronny should be partying right now. Yo, I'm pretty sure this is Z, but what's good, Z? If it's not, then I'm bugging, regardless, though. But you love these buckets here. You love these buckets here. So notice on this play as well. You got Bronny coming across the top, right? Backdoor on this other side. And just by simply moving, you'll find yourself in the right spots at the right times, right? Just by simply moving. Because a lot of people in these situations, whenever they see a ball go away from them, they're like, all right, I'm not going to get the ball. I'm just going to stand where I am. They don't want to pass me the ball. I don't got nothing. But just by simply moving, you'll find that little opportunity, and the ball may just end up right up into your hands. So Bronny not only got that midi, but now he's also got that layup. And now he's one more shot away from having that little trifecta to establish himself in the game as a whole. Now here too. These handoffs, bro. I got to talk about these handoffs. This is an interesting concept. I don't know if I've done a breakdown about this concept before, but this is something you could take note of, especially at all levels, regardless of what level you play at. So pay attention to this here too. We all love handoffs, right? Because we love to get the ball. Truth be told, because we want to get a bucket. But when your teammate hands you the ball, they could still take away from your ability to go and score the ball. Because understand, right? Understand this. When 29 gives Bronny the ball, Bronny got the ball and he may be able to do what he wants. But notice where 29 goes, right? Watch where 29 goes. By him stepping out, Bronny can't do anything, despite the fact he gave him the ball. So he did him a service by simply giving him the ball, but by his spacing after he gave him the ball, he doesn't allow him to be able to have a lane to attack, whether it's to the left or particularly to the right, because his man is still standing there. And by standing this far out, you're no longer a threat, right? So as a handoff man in these situations, you got to simply make sure that you get out into space. You put yourself where you're actually a threat instead of stepping out to somewhere where you're not. And so ultimately, Bronny just ends up throwing the ball right back to where he got the ball from, which is 29, because he had no gaps. Now here too, I got to talk about this stuff offensively. So I got to talk about, this is something I talked about last stream, but I keep seeing it. It's reoccurring, and it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. So the one areas to which Bronny could easily be able to get 6 more points per game if he just added this shot into his bag is right here, right? Not these back doors, right? Because that's a good setup to get himself into this handoff. But when you get into these handoffs, he's got to make this read right here. Defender goes underneath. I hide right behind my teammate and I pull these. That's your shot right there and then. Because if you just hide behind the teammate, how is he supposed to get to you and go and contest? Not possible. And if he does go from the side, you barely see that hand. And so this is something as to which mentally, when you get into your workouts, you got to visualize, and then also you got to feel, because you got the coaches and the trainers, you could actually understand what it looks like. And so it's important that Bronny, in this situation, when you get up into these handoffs, utilize your peripheral so that you could see if the defender releases from your body or if they stay tight. And if they stay tight, they decide to chase over, that's natural. You already know what to do at that point. But these unders, right? He doesn't know what to do in these situations. He doesn't use his peripheral, right? Because when the over is there, I can feel him. When they go under, that's something I got to see. And he doesn't understand I got to make this read when I see it instead of when I feel it. So Bronny has that. That's another few more points per game. And then what ends up happening as well, turnover right here. Missed the shot opportunity. You're going to see this a number of times as well. You're going to see it a number of times. I watched both games. I watched his last two games. His last two. Yo, what's good? What's good, Nate? Eternal Cringe. Unk is crazy. My boy just turned 21, man. Wait, who turned 21? Because I'm about to turn 21 on Monday. I don't know if I'm about to stream on Monday. But we're going to see. We're going to see at some point. And I don't want to talk about this little action in itself. I want to talk about this action itself. So, when you get these pick and rolls where you got the roller rolling to the side where there's one man, it's important that this player lifts up, Bronny right here, so that this lob pass could be able to get thrown and this player cannot actually go and tag, right? And so if you just understand that, and by seeing Bronny actually lift up from that corner, even though he didn't get to that deep corner like he should, right? If you understand just the fact of that lift has to happen, take away the help, and now that lob is going to be there, this is where Bronny could become an elite defender, not just a good defender, right? You take that concept and you flip it. Bronny's on defense, he's guarding this corner, and now this roll occurs, and the roll is going to his side as a defender. Now, what happens on the play is that Bronny doesn't make this tag 14 steps over and they get the lob. But this is where you play chess and not checkers, right? Understand. Because by knowing that this corner man is going to lift when this roll happens, if Bronny decides to tag on this roll early, right here, right now, towards his elbow, he'll not only be able to slow down this roll so he could buy 14 more time to be able to get back in front of here and 21 to get back in front of where he needs to, but he'll also be able to play both this shakeup because he's already in the line of pass when the ball goes down to get the ball to the wing. So you could take away the roll and the person lifting up from the corner to the wing by Bronny just simply tagging towards this elbow. You'll take away 2 and 1, right? And so now you'll be able to prevent these little easy twos, and that's the little things that make elite defenders elite defenders. Those little things, they're able to play chess and not checkers. Y'all probably already seen this bucket because y'all seen the little highlights and shit. If anything, I'm not going to lie. If anything, this should help LeBron's legacy, right? Honestly, hold on. No troll. No troll. Hear me out. Bronny getting to the NBA should affect LeBron's legacy positively on the fact that he is a GOAT who got his son into the league. What other person in that top 5, top 10, top 20 got their kid into the league? Who? Exactly. Did Jordan? Kareem? Wilt? Larry? Magic Johnson? You know what I'm saying? Like, Bron's the only one. Bron's the only one who got his jit into the league. And so if you're going to compare that amongst all the people that he's going against, he's competing against for that spot, I mean, truth be told, his jit in the league. So this positively affects Bron's legacy. This establishes him more as a leader. He's a better leader than those dudes who are also in that top 5, top 10. Hold on. Let me see what else before I get back. Having bro getting his confidence back. I don't think y'all realize how little he's hooped in the past couple of years. So him just playing a couple of games, you're going to see improvement immediately. Reed Shepard, I'm pretty sure. Most definitely. That's definitely going to happen in the regular season. If not, during the summer league, if they end up going to semifinals, if they haven't lost already. Huge fan of Instagram vids. Yo, what's good, LMR? What's good? What's good? We be live here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If not, Tuesday, Thursday. Or you could just figure out when you join the Discord and I'll drop the announcement. Or you just make sure your notifications are on so you see when I'm live. But usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Shouldn't be the league? What you mean? But let's get back to this play. I got two things I want to talk about this play. So let me go back one more time. And let's start here. So there's a positive and a negative to this play right here from Bronny, right? Let's start with the positive. Understand, this is really the first time all summer league we've seen Bronny decide to go on attack, get to the rim, and he hits you with a lay like that. Those lays right there require a high level of touch. And for Bronny to go here, get around and around the body and touch and finish that at the rim, that shows he's got a good touch around the rim, right? So if he gets there, like you're going to see right here on this replay, these extremely tough angles. These angles are extremely tough to get to. And to be able to just finish that, for him to finish that in itself, if he gets there, he's got the touch to finish. But the issue is him getting there. This is where the negative comes in. Let's go back. This is where the negative comes in. So understand Bronny's driving angles, right? And so when he has 18 on him, you see the size discrepancy, 1 and 2. You also understand Bronny's genetics, not just his vertical jump, not just who his pops is, but he also has that as well, but the speed that he could tap into. But he's not using the speed in the way he should use the speed, because when he attacks, he decides to go out and around his defender instead of trying to actually go and attack and maintain contact with his defender, which is going to lead him in a spot like this, which is a very difficult angle around the rim. And like I said before, the fact he was even able to finish it is tough in itself, right? But you're going to see even better on the replay, his driving angles. He's going to go and make this attack. He forces him to open up. He swipes with the off arm, and he just leaves this entire area right here between him and his defender, instead of keeping himself going attacking 18, maintaining contact there, so you don't have to go so close to this help defender, right? And if he does that, he won't have to pick the ball up so early into the paint and get to such a tough angle around the rim for him to get his lay. If he sharpens up that angle, they're going to see it once again in another possession later on in this game, where Bronny's going to end up getting here on this attack. And I want you to pay attention to where he's going to pick the ball up and the angle he's going to go and drive. So he's got another big on him. He goes from this wing towards his middle, and by going out so wide, you get yourself into a help defender that digs. Now you pick the ball up, and the angle that you have on the rim is tough. Could be makeable, but it's a tough angle, and it could have been a lot easier of an angle if you did sharpen up the angle when you first began that attack. So he's got to sharpen up his driving angle so that he could be able to get into the rim. But that also starts with him improving his ability to drive through contact and seeking the contact and embracing it fully. But let's go back to that positive, right? Not only did he have that little lay with that right, next game they played, he comes down, and now he don't got to worry really so much about the angles because they're getting to a handoff, drop coverage. So this is not a one-on-one attack. And he's able to get here, use that left, touch off that glass. If you hoop, you know that's not no easy finish. You know it ain't no easy finish. And so for him to be able to have the right, have the left, just these little glimpses shows that he could finish at the rim. But the real problem is, can he get there? Hold on. Can you answer, please? I gotta go soon. Usually I would just say fuck and I'll just keep it pushing, but I got you. How many workouts should I do? I tap out at 5, but I have knee pain until next day. So you think I should do 4? Do as much as your body can actually handle. Do as much as your body can handle. You got to listen to your body. If you do 5 workouts and your body's hurting, you can't do another workout, you got to drop it. And until you're able to do 4, and it's like, all right, this is easy. My body not hurting me no more. Then you could increase it slightly, right? Don't just go and add a 5th workout at that point in time that's highly intense. Add a medium intensity. Or maybe you just need to drop the intensity of your 5 workouts, right? Maybe on that 4th one, instead of doing as intense as the 4th, on that 5th one, instead of doing it as intense as the 4th, you keep it around maybe 60-70% intensity. So plays the game the right way. You can see have his teammates doesn't. So once he gets to the official roster, he'll be good. He should be good. Shawnese, he went to your high school. He's solid. He's solid. He's solid. First time, of course, I done seen him, but he's solid. Most definitely. Little playmaker. I would say the only thing he's got to add is that shot, because I've seen defenders go underneath him quite a few times, and I was like, well, you got to pull those. And one of them, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if you know him, but one of them, as a matter of fact, he ended up having a defender who went underneath him. And then even when he went underneath, he still kept attacking. And then it was probably in his head thinking like, oh, I shot this, or he got himself in a weird spot and he ended up turning it over because he didn't have that shot when the defender went under. So that's just something you just got to add, right? You just got to add it. And it's a shot that's not very complicated either. It's practically a set shot. When the defender goes underneath, and then, when a defender goes underneath and then they really don't respect you, you're going to see a very light hand. Very light hand. It's not like you need some crazy ball pickup either. Boom. Can line the seams up, boom, knock it down. So you gotta add that jumper, get it consistent. Is lowering the intensity, the amount of reps or speed should decrease? It's just the overall amount that you do. It's not the number of reps, or it could be the reps, it could be the speed, but it's just the overall amount, like how much toll you're putting onto your body. Drop that. That's the intensity. How many times, for example, this match? How much time you need for a breakdown, to watch the game? Depends on what I'm watching for. Some breakdowns could take me, to watch the film, it could take me 4 hours. Some could take me 2.5. Depends if I'm watching a single player, am I watching the entire team, and am I watching multiple players? It really depends. But if I'm going into a game, like say I'm watching something specifically for me, and there's a certain skill I need to pick up on, or there's a certain players whose habits I want to kind of study and be able to uncover, that's probably going to take me 4 hours to watch. Like I said, 1.5 hours of footage, 2 hours, probably going to take me 4, because I got to see it, I got to go back, I got to watch it, then I got to think, then I might take my notes. It depends. How do you add more range on your shot? You get better at fluidity. But I got to get back to this. My stream cannot surpass 1 hour 15 minutes. I'm telling y'all that right now. It's literally a deposit in my phone, so I cannot surpass 1 hour 15. I'm telling y'all. Off rip. And if I can finish this in a timely manner, I'll get right back to some of what y'all saying, or if I feel I'm on good pace. So let's get back to this though. So now this is another isolation situation where Bronny's angles are gonna hurt him. So he's got 18 on him once again. He's gave him quite a few bucks throughout this game, right? And so what ends up happening is that he makes this move and he pulls up for that long too. Now, Bronny likes the mid-range, but you could get a higher quality look if you embrace the contact when you got into your drive and you sharpened up your angles like I just discussed. And so on this situation, Bronny could blow by those. He could get by those easy. Especially if the angles are sharp, you getting by that, he steps over, you could dump down to 14, wrap that around, right? And also, if the angle is sharp, you don't got to worry so much about Wallace. And if he does step all the way over, you kick that to 29, who should be drifting down towards his wing. And if he don't got it, boom, swing to 32. 32 going to do what he do, right? But angles is wide. He wants to get into that pull-up. He don't want to get all the way to the rim, even though he could. He misses that one. And now here 2 on the shot. Bronny and Bron, his pops, got the same weird thing when it comes to shooting, is that they got this little lean back that they do, right? You're going to see it from Bronny right here, right? They'll shoot and they'll lean back a lot. I don't know, it's because that fast twitch that they got makes them use so much legs. Now they want to put less on the upper body. But understand, Bronny used more legs in that situation, and he hit the lean back, and he ended up missing this shot. Pay attention to where it missed. He missed it short. So by jumping higher and leaning back, you counteracted the force that you needed for your legs to get the ball to the rim with the movement that you had, right? And so he's got to do a better job of keeping that chest just a little more forward, right? Instead of counterbalancing that jump with that lean back and then taking it away and just leaving that shot right back short. So that's just something in the weight room he's got to get sharp on, right? Having good vertical core strength, having good postural stability, and making sure that when he gets on the floor that he's jumping and not leaning. He's just jumping and going forward. It's just a habit you got to correct, something you got to constantly tell yourself so you could kill away the bad habits and you could build the good habits. That lean back shit weird. They lean back shit weird. But this is also something that you just see from everybody. And I have to mention this because it's in all levels. It's crazy. So look at 29, right? He sends Bronny through to that right side because they're about to run some sort of play, run some sort of action, right? And Bronny's going to be the one who should be getting the ball. But the thing is, watch what happens. Bronny's not going to end up getting the ball because as a ball handler in that situation, you don't trust the angle to pass the ball to him. So just understand what Bronny did. What's going to stop Bronny from being able to get the ball, if he does even want to get the ball, I don't know, is the lack of physicality. So watch what he does on this possession. The entire time, he's just trying to shimmy, step, stunt, go high, go low. But not one time did he get into his defender so that he could be able to create space, establish a safe passing lane from the ball handler, and then he could be able to get his touch. So whether or not this would be fluff, as a habit in itself, if you're not over there trying to actually bump off, create some contact, and then be able to get yourself open, you're not going to get the ball as much as you want to get the ball. This is also another one of those situations where, not even on Bronny though, it's on defense. So pay attention. So you got 31 and then 18 once again. Little miscommunication right here. Bronny is finally able to hit his first three. If you hear the crowd, they went dummy. But I want you to watch 18 too. Watch 18 off this shot. Because this is Bronny's first game where he was actually getting some bucks. And he was just like, dog, what? Like, come on, man. Buddy is heated. Right? Buddy a little mad. He was like, bro, we're supposed to be cooking them. You're not supposed to be cooking us. This is the opposite of what we thought of before. And so just even right there, Bronny just seeing that first one go through, I know it just relaxed him a lot. No, it relaxed him a lot. Ain't so much pressure on knocking down a three. And he also did a great job of just taking his time and knocking it down. Not forcing his way to get this shot up, right? And so just even pay attention to Bronny's footwork on this shot. When he actually gets this, he skips and it just gets right into his base. Loaded, only going up. Defenders drop back. He can line the seams up. Top of the key, knocks it down. Right? Knocks it down. So just to be able to get into your rhythm, not to be pressured, not to be out of your own pace, especially in situations like this, is going to be important. And it's all just a mental thing. Doing God's work. Indeed, doing God's work. Indeed, of course. But let me get back to this. Let me get to this, though. This plays a gem. This plays a gem. This plays a gem. The one thing that Bronny has, that Bron has, is defensive awareness. Watch Bronny on that left block, right? As he's off the ball, he's recognizing the action. And by seeing 16 drop to the baseline, he knows, oh, shoot, he's going to be running the baseline. I could blow up the play simply by switching this out to the corner and telling 21 to take my man who's going to go out the opposite direction. And so 21 was not hip to it, but despite the fact they took away the first look, left 31 on that side up for 21, and Bronny was able to essentially be the source of that stop. He was the source of it. And so as an off-ball defender, it's important, it is vital that you read the action that's going on, and that's how you're able to play defense a step ahead of the offense. You see Bron do this literally every time down the floor. Bron actually does it every time down the floor. And this is where he doesn't have that level of efficiency because Bronny doesn't do it every single time down the floor. And so just like offense, right? Just like offense, it's important as a defender, you know spacing, not just of your team, but also of the opponent. So you know so you know how to guard and what you need to prepare for. And so Bronny, when he decides to just ball watch, just be lackadaisical, he's late to realize, oh, there's a man right here. I could get screened. I may need to stay up a little tighter on Monty Bates. So he ends up getting himself stuck underneath, having to go high. Hand gets there, and then boom, he gets burned. So regardless of the situation, half court set, fresh out, ATO, whatever it might be, transition, you always need to know that spacing. And as he gets more consistent with this concept, he's also going to become an even better defender and could be on the verge of being an elite defender. Pay attention to this. This play is tough. This play is, it's something minuscule. Something So a lot of players will get themselves great driving lanes to the rim. But when they get that lane to the rim, they do one thing that's going to stop them from even being able to get a lay, which is when they get the ball through that gap in itself. They decide to bring it back to their hip, which now exposes the ball to the person you just got past, and now the ball goes off of you, and now it's a turnover instead of 2 points. So in your workouts, you got to make sure you eliminate your habit of swinging the ball back to your hip, especially when you're going to attack someone and they may be on that side as to what you may be swinging the ball to. Now, this is a great play from Bronny. Improved stamina. Sprints is the best thing for stamina, for conditioning, for basketball. But pay attention to this. So, Bronny's going to need to make a lot of plays like this, especially playing with his dad and AD. He's playing off the ball, right? So pay attention. Bronny makes a great cut right here as 14 begins to get into that post up, right? And you're like, ah, damn, he couldn't catch that. I put that on 14. Because understand, I want you to understand this weak side. 18's habit, what he's gonna do, he's gonna step over and plug in on that cut, whether the pass gets thrown in or it does not. Because Bronny cut when he realized his own teammate was vulnerable. So regardless if the pass gets thrown or not, 18 is stepping over. And that's when 14's got to be able to read that weak side. And of course, you know, Bron's going to be able to make that level of a read if he's in that situation. Or even AD. I'm not too sure about AD. I'm not really seeing him as a post playmaker, but he should be able to. But Bronny's going to need to continue to make those type of cuts. And now I want to talk about this. He missed a lot over here. So, you remember those unders Bronny's been missing? His defender, the visual, like I said, the peripheral, right? He didn't realize it. Hide behind that screen. That should be a shot right there in itself, right? He missed that first one. Now he ends up throwing the ball down here to 14, and now 14 gives it back to him. You missed another one. It's another switch, right? On a switch or it's under. That's when you hide behind. That's when you hide behind. Or when they switch and they don't switch up, let me say. Correct myself. Right, when they don't switch up. Right, when they switch back, that's when you got to hide behind that. And he missed 2 opportunities that has now brought him to the end of the shot clock. And now he's got to settle for this 3. And breaks it off the dribble. Much tougher than if he had the trigger to be able to realize, oh, they switched back or they went under, I shoot. Would be much easier of a shot. Now these transition plays too. Bronny, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Bronny was more aggressive this game, but his aggression needs to be consistent throughout all plays. And even the defense understands when Bronny's not aggressive. Because by him attacking right here in transition, you got 8 who's in help. Bronny hasn't even got to the rim. He's still on his way to the rim. And what 8 decides to do is leave. Because he already knows, all right, by anticipation, Bronny is going to get here, kick the ball out. He ain't going to try to finish, right? But if Bronny understood the fact that 31, I'm going to get past you day and night, don't matter what time of day it is, right? I'm going to get past you, and if I maintain this contact, he could be able to have an angle on his left side to be able to get a lay. But the angles, like I said before, are lacking and aren't there. He's not seeking that contact to hold his angles, and so he could get angled to the rim. So he just ends up getting here and kicking this out to the wing. Another situation. I want to talk about catch and shooting, or spot up play, per se. Right? A lot of people don't understand the importance of where a pass gets thrown so that you could be able to actually knock down a shot, and how you got to play off the spot up. So you see 29 about to skip this to Bronny, and Bronny's man is over here and help on the nail because this post up over here, this mismatch. And so when the pass gets thrown, Bronny's eyes are looking all the way to the wing, and the pass is getting thrown high, right? And so his eyes are solely on the ball. The ball in itself, nothing else. He can't really see anything or make any reads out of his peripheral. And so when he actually gets the catch, he has to turn and then read his closeout to see how his defender is attacking or how his defender is defending. And now he recognizes the gap and he gets into that shot. So that shot was delayed slightly. But I want you to understand this different scenario where you got 21 driving on the baseline, right? And when Bronny gets this pass, he could see 2. The ball and the man that's closing out to him, because the vicinity as to which the pass gets thrown and where the closeout is coming from. And so by being able to see the ball and see the man, he's going to catch this and move more right into space so that I have a cleaner look when I get this closeout. And so there's going to be situations where it's going to vary, right? Especially when you get these skip passes, these high passes, or a bad pass, you can't make the read and the catch at the same time. And so when you do have a bad pass, you need to make sure that you do slow your pace down so that you could be able to read the type of closeout that you have or how someone is guarding you, and then attack accordingly. Don't rush in those situations, because if you rush, probably going to be some sort of bad play because you haven't been able to see the floor and see how defenders are defending you. And now here too, another thing, there are a couple plays where you can see the habits. So when you decide to drive with the intention of passing, this is what happens. No intention to do anything but pass. And you got to understand, the passing lanes open up and the lanes to make plays open up when you are a threat to score. You can't be someone who's like, oh, I'm going to be like Rondo. I'm just, getting here and I'm going to pass every single time. Rondo will still hit you with a lay. I don't think you understand that. Rondo will still come through a lane, hit you with a lay, hit you with a float. But he would also make sure that if he is going to pass, he would sell the lay and then drop it off. Every time. Right? And that's what allowed him to be a playmaker and not score so much, is that he's still able to score on you. And then, of course, he'll get into a little mid-range shot every now and then. And I want to talk about a concept for shooting. So when you play in real live games, you may find yourselves in situations like this to where that shot, you can't really prepare for it, right? You're not going to go in the gym and rep out that shot. But the one thing you do got to rep out so you can make these type of shots is what you're going to end up seeing Bronny get to when he does end up hesitating from that little stunt, which is this right here, getting to your shooting base. Your ability to get into your shooting base is what's going to allow you to hit shots that may seem tough or shots that are just random and abnormal from what you've practiced and allow you to knock them down in the game, right? And so it's important that you have great balance in this spot, because that's usually what you're going to end up being regardless of the movement that you're going into. So you got to make sure you get sharp on that base. Make sure you get sharp on it. And now here too, this is just an easy defensive read. Easy read, right? And so this is an improvement of aggression, but this is also some lazy defense, and Bronny picked up on that, right? So look at Monty Bates. He's guarding Bronny, and he's literally vertical. There's no base, and he just left him a lane to his left side. He literally guarding him up and down. Up and down. Like, there's no sort of leveling or load in his body that's like, all right, I'm going to try to actually stay in front. Bronny sees that, he went to go and attack. So when you see that, you go and attack. They can't stay in front of you legally. If they do end up staying in front of you, you might just be dumb slow. Or you may not be seeking contact on that drive or having a sharp angle, so they're able to get back and maybe even block your shot. And out here too, Bronny's been in a little rhythm this game. First quarter, 6.5 minutes left. He's got like quite a few buckets thus far, right? And so notice what he does off the rebound. You got to notice what he does off the rebound. So this should be every player at all times. So notice, fresh off the rebound, Bronny's eyes are going to be looking up, not just in the backcourt, right? But even once he gets into the front court, eyes are still looking at this big down here who he may throw the ball down into. And now buddy right here, he probably already got hip to that. So notice his movement. He's dropping back. And now he's able to use his eyes looking off to then get into a shot that's not contested. Even though he missed, quality look, right? Especially for the rhythm that he's had thus far into the game. So those eyes, like I even showed y'all last breakdown with Jerry McCain, could get you open looks. You just got to use them. And now this play right here too. This is going to help a lot of hoopers. So anytime a defender guards you this tight, don't panic and put the ball down and try to get by him. Do this instead. Bronny ends up passing the ball. Watch what 39 does. He drops all the way back. Defenders who be putting that fake pressure on you only want to do it when they're on the ball, not when they're off the ball. That's when they begin to relax, which is why Steph and Clay be cooking motherfuckers off that same thing. And so now Bronny is able to get it back. He gets here, 39 behind the play. Bates pulls in to connect. He lifts. He gets that bucket, right? Don't panic when you see that pressure. Don't panic. You can literally just play off ball. You get into chase action, go throw it, boom, set a pin down, do something off the ball, because that's the one they don't want to guard. And now this is where you can become elite. How should Amani improve? I was thinking about doing some stuff with Amani, but today is for Bronny. Today is for Bronny. I have some thoughts, but I got to get this done. So pay attention to this. So as a defender, Bronny's good. But if he incorporates this, he'll become elite, or he'll be on the way to elite. And so notice this. The screen gets flipped, right? Bronny now moves more towards that right side. Understand that the screen is now to that left side. And so with this ice occurring, Bronny ends up just getting hit by that screen, is way behind the play. But you see the Drew Holidays, you see the Marcus Smart level of defenders, and the way they're able to get over these screens is not just by angling their body according to where the screen is, but they'll also step up into the ball so that they can be able to get over the top of these screens. And the way they do so, you get into this hip, right? You step up into this hip. What's going to happen is that bigs at this point have a tendency just to be able to want to hit your body somewhat, right? And so if you get yourself skinny enough when you get up into that hip, you get yourself thin and move laterally, that big may just want to stick their hip out, and you'll probably get that moving screen call. And so that's what allows the Drew Holidays, Pat Bev, Marcus Smarts, those elite guard defenders to be able to guard ball screens so well. And that's another situation guarding ball screens. But I don't want to talk about Bronny so much, because Bronny here on this screen, he did his job, right? He did his job. And so I want to talk about 31, right? Talk about 31. So he's a strong side corner. And now, as an off-ball defender in the situation who could help the person that's on the ball, you got to be able to read the on-ball defender and be able to say, do they need this much help at this point in time? Does Bronny need this much help with Amani? Because you already know that he's getting up into his grill and guarding him up tight, because that's where Amani's the most uncomfortable. And so what ends up happening, 31 ends up ball watching, too worried about what's here. He gets backdoor cut, and they end up getting a 2, right? Free throw line. So you got to read what's going on the ball to see if you even need help, what's there. And now here as well. It's a little play, it's little light play. So pay attention to this, right? No man picks up on Bronny. And now at this point, a lot of players will get fazed by this. And Bronny did get fazed a little bit. He did. Because pay attention. The second he sees that, one dribble, fake that to the corner, he picks it up damn near at the free throw line. He runs that off the glass float. He's got the touch, right? He's got the touch. The thing is, if he's at the rim, he could finish when he's there. It's just getting there. It's just getting there. And so Bronny's able to improve his ability to drive through contact, to drive and seek contact. He's going to be able to get to the rim, use that touch, and now it's going to even create a better gap for him to be able to use his shot, as to which it's going to get better in time. So he could still become that shot creator style of player. He could still be like a Drew Holiday. He just has to improve his physicality on his drives. Peep this too. I want to talk about another concept. We talked about this action before, but I want to talk about a different concept, especially when it comes to spot up play. So notice here. So you have this pick and roll that's going to happen where the roller is going to roll to the side of Bronny. And now this is going to force Amani Bates to now step in and tag. And so Bronny in the situation, if you want to get a shot up, you cannot do this. You can't. Because on Amani Bates' part, that's too easy to guard. Instead, what Bronny must do in this situation is understand Bates is tagging, he's stepping in, which means that if I want to be able to create space for my shot, I got to go away from where Bates is going instead of bringing the ball back. So when this pass gets to me, I go into the line of the pass and not move with the momentum of the pass and bringing it back exactly to where I was. Because a closeout going to here on the wing is completely different than a closeout going to right here, right? Completely different. And so that would be a shot for Bronny, especially moving up into that footwork will also be a little quicker. The time of the pass, the amount of time the ball is in the air is less. So you'll just have more time to be able to get that shot off. It will be an overall much better look. But nonetheless, he does end up getting here and getting fouled. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little soft to some, but, you know, NBA going to call it. But I probably wouldn't have blown my whistle. Pause on that. And now it's another very similar situation, right? Same concept. Because understand, you got Bronny cutting along this baseline. And so ball goes from this nail now to Bronny, who's now in this corner. But look at that room he has to his left side, right? Look at the room he has to his left side. He still has about 5 feet of room in this corner. About 5 feet of room. And now, if Bronny understands I have all this room in this corner, when I get this pass from my defender who's closing out from the block, they're going to close out to where they thought I am instead of where I'm going to end up going to. And these are the spots as to which Clay and Steph are able to cook people off of and get open looks, despite the fact they're still trying to close out hard. Is that when they get this catch, they allow their footwork to guide them into more space instead of being stagnant and stuck in one spot and catching and shooting exactly where they are. So in this situation, Bronny's got to use this room that he's got here in the corner to get himself a better look right here. Got to use that room. Now here too, I want to talk about a concept. Defensively, Bronny does have good instincts and good awareness, just using hands. He didn't get the steal, but he knows where the ball is headed to. Amani Bates, even understand what this one, Amani Bates. Understand this. So, this is something I literally thought of right now. You're about to see the same exact thing on the other side. So, the reason Amani Bates gets this pass stolen is because he goes to that left side, loads the ball up, and throws the ball up to his right hand. And in that loading movement, right, in that loading motion, is where Dalton Connect and Bronny are end up able to realize, oh, he's passing this over the top. And so they're able to get a hand on it. Now watch what Bronny does, right? He's dribbling to his left side. And by him going left and loading the ball back to his right to throw it to his right side, 33 realizes, oh shoot, he's throwing the ball. So that just shows you, if I'm an offensive player, I got to make sure I have my pass with my left going to my left side and pass with my right going to my right side. You got to be able to pass with both, so that defenders can't be able to anticipate your passes because you're loading the ball up to get it to your other hand to throw a pass. You got to add that to your bag. You got to. You got to add both hand passes, all type of passes. Everything you can do with your dominant hand, you got to make sure you're able to do it with your offhand. And now here too, I'm going to talk about this. Quick little clip. I ain't going to lie. 33 is lucky. This is LeBron James Jr., not LeBron James Sr. Because if this was Senior, this would have been the end of his career. This would have been the end of his career. Because you're lucky he not 6'8". He not 6'8" instead of 6'2". You're lucky. That would have been an insane poster. Crazy poster. I look, you want to see Bronny catch a body, though. I want to see Bronny get a body. If he does, bro, if you see Bronny get a dunk, like you dunk on somebody, just know, like, mentally he's there. Mentally he's there. But now another catch and shoot situation. Let's talk about this as well. So you got Bronny over here on this shakeup, right? And now if Bronny was just able to read his closeout, you could get that shot off all day. All day. Right? You just got to make sure you get your feet set in a timely manner. But he passes it up and it ends up getting called for a travel. But good thing, though, Bronny didn't allow the past play to affect his present play. And he used that to reinforce what he should do instead of always harping on what he should not do. So this next time down, Bronny, live dribble, pick and roll. Amani Bates on the ice. Right? Amani Bates on the ice. So you got space to his left side. Boom, fake that behind the back. Amani Bates is now squared up. No longer icing. So now this screen going to the middle could work. And now Bronny gets right here into that mid-range where you see him get into that low pull-up oftentimes. But with the plug right there from Couture, Now Bronny can't get into that pull up, brings the ball back, Bates falls underneath that screen, he pulls that from the top, and now boom, he gets another 3. Bronny is building his confidence game by game, and if y'all understood how many games he's done missed in the past year or so, it would make sense as to why he's been having a slow start right now. So as games continue to get played, as he gets more experience and more runs and more bump, just know he's going to get better as a player, because all the talent we know he has is going to begin to come to light, especially by being in a good environment. So that's the end of today's breakdown. We might not be live on Monday. I don't think I'm going to be. Monday is going to be my birthday. I'm about to be 21, so I may just go to the beach by myself on some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see. But I'm going to let y'all know if I do end up streaming. I'll put it in the Discord. And if we do, just know I had to stay there because the video it's got to be a banger. So make sure that y'all sacrifice. Actually, let me peep some questions right quick. Let me peep some questions before I slide out. Ops defense on him. Y'all moving the goalposts. You can't move the goalposts. Should Amani improve? Of course, everybody should improve. But I would say this though. Amani has a lot of room to improve, and I have a video. I think I made a whole video on Amani Bates from last summer league, and the same issues are still present, where he doesn't play low enough. He does not play low enough. Like, he's 6'9", right? But he just plays completely vertical all the time. He needs to look at like a KD and understand, all right, I see KD and his ability to change levels on his drives, on his attacks, all those little things, right? He needs to be able to add that in, like his ability just to simply drop down a level and get into his moves. So he can't get pushed off his angles and pushed off his drive. So yeah, he definitely, it's the same thing. Same thing. And when he ends up playing lower, it's going to improve his pace as well, because you're just going to be more comfortable and more confident. I got a niece and girl cousins in high school hoops and be flooding with their videos. Hey, appreciate the sharing, the support, man. Appreciate all that. Appreciate it. We growing day by day. We about to hit 40K this weekend. Happy birthday. Appreciate all the happy birthdays, by the way. Appreciate all the happy birthdays. What should I do if I don't have the confidence to shoot, but I'm able to play defense and pass the ball? Learn how to shoot. That simple. Learn how to shoot. Learn how to shoot. Once I fully like understand these different components when it comes down to shooting, I've been picking up like little new things as I've been fixing my shot, but shooting is so just textbook, and it's like if you're able to do this and do it consistently, like you shouldn't be missing shots that often. You know what I'm saying? You should be shooting at a very high clip if you're disciplined as a shooter. It really all boils down to discipline. It really does, man. How long should jump sessions be? Also, happy birthday, don't stream Monday. Appreciate that. A jump session, like honestly, like if I'm after like if I just played runs and I'm afterwards, I'm like, let me get some dunks in. You know what I'm saying? Probably like a cool like 10 minutes. But if it's like a workout designated for jumping, like I'll have some like lower intensity stuff. I'll be trying some new shit, but then like my maximum effort dunks, probably like I'll space them out as well, make sure I have all my breath, have all my energy and stuff like that. But like honestly, maybe like 15 minutes, because you'll hit a point where it's like, all right, I know I done killed my whole fucking what's it called, glycotic system, I believe it is, that's used for your fast twitch muscle fibers, and you just know, or is it your phosphagen system? I get them mixed up. What's one of those two? That's the energy system that you use. And so like you just know you're depleted. You just know you're depleted. Finishing in my touch, honestly, by just doing more lays, just doing more layups around the rim. Like I'll do this thing where when I was working on my finishing, I would just simply start inside the arc. Like I'll start in the mid range, and I'll just like take one dribble or two dribbles, and I'll just get to the rim and work on these different angles I'll tend to get to. And it'll just be that simple. Like I'll go into work and be like, all right, I'm getting 100 of these, right? Instead of starting all the way out the 3-point line where I'm doing 5 dribbles, I may have to take 5 dribbles or 4 dribbles to get to maybe do a move and get to the rim or see out a scenario. If I just want to work on my touch and then my ability at those angles, I'll start inside the mid-range, 1 or 2 dribbles, get to the similar angles I'll tend to get my lays in. And I could do like 100 of those in a workout, and I'll just keep it that simple. Keep it literally that simple. I don't do no weird, like some unnecessary drills where it's like, oh, try this lay and do this lay and try, like, I just keep that shit simple, keep it textbook. Because intention and direction will lead to improvement and perfection. So, That's a bar. I just made that shit up right now. That's a bar. Break down Bub Carrington. Who's Bub Carrington? What should I do if I'm an inconsistent shooter? Start shooting more, because you probably don't get enough shots up. If you're not making at least 250 shots a day, you're probably going to be inconsistent. You need to be hitting like at least 250. You need to be knocking out at least 250 shots a day. It's truth be told. At least 250. But yeah, make sure y'all join the Discord. It's in the description. Make sure y'all join the school community. And also, all y'all who's just asking questions about shooting, I have a shooting program. I have the first 6 weeks of my shooting program in my school community. And so in there, I'm also like building out just other programs, other breakdowns, other little things like that. And so I have 6 weeks of shooting workouts if you need a shooting workout. Like I said, you need 250 makes at least a day. In my program, you're getting 300 makes a day at least. And 300 is the minimum. It's the bare minimum. So every like 2 weeks, I'm adding the next phase, and it's gonna be a total of 12 weeks, about 4 phases or so. And then it's a spot up shooting program. Then I'm gonna have a spot up shooting one, going to one that's off the dribble, and then those are gonna be interconnected. Then I'm gonna refine it, and then little things like that. So yeah, for sure. Online, the shooting program works indeed. You know what I'm saying? Start with the basics, get your makes in, day by day, brick by brick. Online, it's online. It's online. And then I literally have the workouts listed out like day by day. Do this, do that. And then for the second phase, I have a walkthrough for it because it's a little more complicated. But the beginning is very simple, but just requires a lot of detail and discipline. So sprints for short distances. So like you could do sets of like 100, like 200 meters. I'll do anywhere from around 100 meters to 400 meters. Cause I like on the long side of things, no diddy, is like a full like lap around the track. That's like 400 meters, right? And so at that point, it'll probably, that's very similar to sequences you'll get into actual basketball game. So just to make sure you have that, like consistently getting that in day in and day out, or like not day in and day out, but just having that as like the extended cardio workout, and then for the shorter ones, a little burst and sprint outs, 100 meters, you should be cool. Workout find the program, go to the description, hit DOR school community, hit that link, and then when you join the community, it will be in the fundamentals of shooting course. And then you'll see 6 weeks of shooting workouts. You'll see some lifting workouts in there. I'm about to really get consistent in there, like when it comes to workouts, because I just want to, guys, I'm going to take y'all along through the journey as I continue to improve in my game and all the things I do and how I think, how I work out, how I live. So y'all going to see a lot of that. So highly recommend it. Appreciate the review, Magic. Appreciate it for sure. But I'm about to be out of here. I'm going to let y'all know if I'm a stream Monday, but make sure you're in the Discord or school community. Make sure that you also sacrifice your present self and you invest into your future self and do everything you need to do to get to where you're here to be. So discipline or regret, you choose.